Hi everyone, and welcome to this webinar, the Right Employee Benefits platform. Welcome, it's great to have you with us today. I'm Catherine, I'm Head of Marketing here at Ciphr, and I'm joined by Neil Monroe, who's our Sales Director for Benefits. Hi Neil, how are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Jolly good. And also by Gina Neal, who's Business Development Manager for our Benefits product. Hi Gina, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Hi everyone, nice to meet you.
It's great to have you with us today. Before we dive into Gina and Neil taking us through today's content, just a quick look at our agenda. I'll introduce you to Ciphr, just in case you haven't come across us before, and then we'll discuss the employee benefits landscape as it looks today, why benefits matter and arguably matter more than ever, the role of the right platform in enabling effective employee benefits programs, how to choose the right employee benefits platform, and a short Ciphr benefits demo. We will have time at the end for your questions, so do send in questions using the Q&A function. You can also say hi and chat with other attendees today using the public chat. This webinar is being recorded and the recording will be emailed to you afterwards. So if you're new to Ciphr, here's an overview of all of the solutions that we offer. We really do offer software and services that cover the entire employee lifecycle, from recruitment and onboarding through to central HR management, payroll software, payroll bureau, e-learning, content, and an LMS, and of course benefits, which is what we're talking about today. So if you want more information about any of those other software and services that we offer, you can email us at info@ciphr.com, or you can visit our website, which is ciphr.com, and you can find out all about them there. So today we'll just be looking at benefits and our Ciphr benefits product, which is underpinned by the Avantus platform. Avantus is where Gina and Neil joined us from in the back end of 2024. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Neil, I think, for the first slide. Take it away, guys. Thank you.
Super. Thanks very much. Yes, nice to meet you all. The employee benefit landscape. I mean, I've seen a big change in my 30 plus years being employed. It's very much 20, 30 years ago, it's very much rigid. A lot of people didn't know that they had benefits, so that's a one size fits all. And the typical benefits that were put in place were pensions, maybe life assurance, and then sometimes some health benefits or income protection. And it pretty much stopped there. Today, we're seeing a big change for more flexibility in those choices of the benefits, a broadening of the benefit offering, so that the employee can start to personalize their actual choices. It doesn't get away from the core things that are still needed, of course, like pensions and life assurance. But yeah, we're seeing much more tailoring and giving options to people. And this is why platforms have really taken off in the last 20 years. I've been involved for 20 years in delivering platforms. What type of benefits do we now see? I must say, well-being has certainly come through very, very strongly, especially since 2020. So lots of support, lots of new providers in the market, which can be a bit daunting sometimes because there's so many different providers. But getting it onto a platform in one place makes that life a little bit easier to communicate. Also, people's working patterns are different, so lifestyle choices. The expectation is to have more of a choice around how they work. They're also looking for assistance in well-being, and that could be financial, not just health. In getting them through their working day, we've seen a big growth in different types of benefits being brought in, ranging from elder care, helping support family members, right way through to obviously that childcare doesn't disappear, does it? It becomes more of a challenge for everybody. So we're seeing lots and lots of changes there. And then we've seen the growth of reward and recognition. That's certainly something I've seen really celebrating people's work in the workplace, and be rewarding them or just recognizing them. And long service awards have really come through very strongly in the last few years as well, celebrating people's time with the business. On the sideline as well, but very important, we've also seen that sort of training, professional support for improving their roles, sort of management development, staff training. So that's been a big growth area as well. So all that draws us to flexibility. So again, you have the underpin of the core benefits, and then the employees have diverse needs. So somebody at 25 has a different requirement to somebody who's 55. So you have to have a benefit strategy that bends like a tree really in the wind, that can adapt to different people's requirements throughout their working life. And that means personalisation on the right hand side there. Benefits should feel personal. You need smart tools to help them online. That's what the workforce is now expecting, to be able to access everything online, whether it be by their mobile phone or computer. Mobile phones, obviously, the new thing in the last few years. So yeah, getting it right, getting the choices there, making it easy for them to make selections around benefits, and also giving enough information so that you're not deluged with lots and lots of questions about the different benefits. So you do have to provide info online for them so they can make a sort of informed decision.
Neil, if I can just interrupt there, I was just going to basically, from what you're saying, if we get this right, or if you get this right, you can get a high level of engagement. So we've got a current client with us at the moment. They were really struggling with benefit admin. So they had loads of different systems, which I'm sure we're all familiar with, and it gets really frustrating not knowing which one to log into, which one to do each process on. Manual enrolments, they didn't have any visibility of usage as well, or selections, like the employee couldn't see what they'd already got selected and what their liability was coming out of their salaries, which was obviously really time consuming, not flexible, personalised, anything like that. But they're now with us. And we've got automated processes, tailored all the packages to the different individuals as well. So they have their own choices and flexibility. They can now see their sort of real-time engagement on the actual benefits that have been chosen as well, to see how popular they are. And they can also, the employee can see, you know, how much money is going to come out of their account via salary sacrifice each month as well. And that customer has hit 91% engagement, which is obviously saving HR team loads of time, admin tasks, and the employees are just a lot happier.
Yes, thanks, Gina. That's a good example of how drawing everything together in one place really does help. So let's just quickly review why benefits matter. I'm sure lots of you already understand this, but certainly employees, when they change jobs 20, 30, 40 years ago, people didn't tend to move from job to job. Now that's obviously slightly different. So when you're looking to attract new talent or retain talent, getting a competitive benefits package together certainly helps. That's what I hear so many times when we're talking to new clients, wanting to offer something a bit more modern and giving the choice to try and retain talent. And often on the platform, we often have a new joiner viewing as well. So new joiners can log in before they start with the business and actually look at the benefits package as well. So that's been a big change. Never used to have that a few years, 10 years ago. And if people feel that the organization is listening to them, it certainly helps morale and productivity within the business. And it should help then the well-being, and it all flows into also loyalty as well. And that does take time, but you do have to be focused on it and listen to the employees. Obviously, you can't do everything they ask in the world, but certainly folding in new things over time will certainly mean that you are listening. It's what happens at Ciphr. We've just done our staff survey, and things that have been introduced at beginning of the year were from that survey. So listening, asking, listening, and then delivering that is certainly so powerful. Okay, let's now get on. So that's the sort of benefit side, just our thoughts on that. So we then move into, okay, so you want to do something, you've got lots of benefits. What do? You've got to choose the right online platform. There are so many choices out there nowadays. So I think really it's got to be fit for purpose for what you want it to do. Some platforms are very focused around discounted sort of shopping, info pages. Other platforms are very strong on functionality for people to be able to go and pick things like flex benefits. So you've got to decide what you want. So yeah, it's got to be fit for your purpose. We'll get on in a minute with regards to how to choose that right platform. Will it grow with you? Because you want a platform that is scalable, so that over time, as you change your requirements, you can increase either employee numbers or change the benefits that are being offered. And you want to be able to do those changes quickly as well. Lots of platforms in the marketplace take ages to make a change on a platform, months, whereas it's got to be quick, so that you want it within a month, then that can be done. Also, you need to have a good user experience from the employee and also from the administration perspective. So from an employee perspective, what you don't want is employees constantly asking you how to find something on the platform that's buried away. And I think user experience, we've certainly seen a big change where, we can now host policy numbers on the platform. So for the insurance benefits, such as cash plans, medical insurance, being able to have a policy number in there so that when they want to make a claim, they've got the link through to the provider and also the policy number to put in to open up their account if they're a new user. The other key thing from our perspective would be definitely how do you get data in to the system, and how do you get data out? How easy is it? Prove it. Do they have automatic data feeds in? So from the HR system, will there be an automatic feed coming in to update the data? Because obviously we'll be storing in the benefits space, salary, pension contributions, etc. And can it be adapted to any system? As long as data can be pulled in, we can also push data out anywhere. Obviously, very important is security, and all these sort of security layers that are needed nowadays. You've got to make sure it's secure, and that's obviously very easily evidenced by formal documentation I'm sure you will have that are needed to be completed, or you can always ask the platform provider for their security documentation. You'll soon see if it's a good, strong system, hopefully. And then there's the balance for what you want and the cost, and it's the cost effectiveness. Normally, the feedback we get from real clients that go live is that it saves a lot of time. Just reiterating Gina's point, it saved a lot of time from HR and payroll in processing any changes or requests for new benefits or existing benefits at renewal, and it speeds up. I had one client actually that used to spend with another platform 3 weeks after every renewal, pulling reports off the platform that they were on at the time, and then trying to merge them, and then creating a payroll output report to match their payroll requirements, because the existing platform couldn't do the bespoke output of reports. Whereas now it takes them 2 hours, to do the renewal. They couldn't believe it. References are available. Okay. And next. So when you're starting to think about what you want to implement, your workforce size will drive the platform functionality that is required. You will have an idea, I'm sure, about the types of benefits that you wish, and what are you actually trying to achieve here. And again, you do need to speak to employees or do surveys to get feedback so that you can make informed decisions. Working groups are normally good if you can do that. Yeah, it's just trying to find out. A lot of companies were worried about high turnover in staff, we've seen, and so focusing in on that, on exit interviews and things like that, certainly help to consider what to put in place. Then you've got to decide, well, what are the key things that you really are going to want? So, and I'm thinking of those sort of automated enrollments. So if you do have benefits that they automatically get from day 1 or day 30, whenever, that they are automatically enrolled within the platform. Typical benefits that are like that may be medical insurance or cash plans that people get from day 1, and they may get a level of cover immediately, but they just need to confirm perhaps dependents. So again, it's deciding on those non-negotiable features, because not all platforms will be able to cope with that. Getting payroll bespoke reports out as well. Are they automated? Can they be configured to what you require as a client? Again, a lot of platforms just do generic output reports. Obviously, you need a bit of technology that can be customizable. So when you perhaps when you go live day 1, lots of clients go live with their existing benefits, perhaps introduce 1 or 2 new benefits, but then see the output reports, the usage, and then adapt that over time. And it's easy to sort of make changes when you get feedback coming in. The other key thing from our perspective is very much that you personalize the website, you personalize the offering for the employees, so different employees can have different views and benefits, and then getting real reports and automated reports, so you get real-time reporting coming out to you to say so many people have signed up for this benefit this month, and this is the change. And of course, we touched on mobile. You've got to have mobile access, to be working on the mobile phone as well as the normal computer. We've already covered off security and compliance. Let's go to the next slide. The other thing that I've seen in the market is sometimes there are hidden costs on platforms. You've got to drill down and find out the true cost of a platform. Contracts are typically 3 years. So, what are the renewal fees, if there are any? It's asking those types of questions. Also, if you wanted to bring in new benefits, and you need to think about the type of benefit that you may want to bring in to the platform at a later date. What charges does the platform provider make, and how quickly can they deploy any new benefits?
And especially with all the weight changes and everything, Neil, as well. So it's just good to understand what costs are going to be there with weight changes.
Yeah. And that's a hidden one. Often when PMI, private medical insurance rates change, or cash plan prices change, getting those put into the platform is normally done by the platform provider. Do they charge to do that? Yeah, or changing providers. It's all those things that are sort of hidden, I think. Think about not just today, but also the future. Also, make sure that when you see a demo that it's real and it's not just mocked up. You want to see real things. And I touched on this earlier, but looking at the platforms, once you've decided, the functionality that you want, is it just a discount platform that you need? So what I mean by that are your shopping discounts, offers, or do you want more than that? Do you want some functionality to be able to automatically publish total reward statements or compensation statements? And do you want people to be able to go in and do some self-service to be able to adjust their pension contribution? It's all those types of things that will help you step by step to get to the right platform for you, so you're not disappointed. Once you've decided on that, then it's really making sure that the platform can sit in the middle of the HR system, payroll, and can that be automated? How do you get data in and out, as I touched on earlier, really? And that's key as well. So most of our clients have automated data feeds coming in and automatic data going out for providers and payroll deduction reports.
I think that's people's quite a big worry. People who don't have a platform, they're worried that they've got a platform, and then they're going to have to start feeding in information, putting it into different systems that they've got, etc. So it's really good to find out the functionality behind that. Absolutely.
And then, so once you've got those sort of things noted, then really it's starting to look at platforms, start to make sure that those platforms can do what you want. Reporting is, I think, very, very key to the whole. Obviously, the look and feel is good, is important, but really getting the reports run easily, accurately, make sure that works very well. And yeah, I mean, they're the core things I would say help make the selection on the platform. So once you've evaluated those things, then it's really onboarding, training, making sure that you do get good support. I think customer service is key to us on the benefits. We certainly, when we build a site, the key people stay with you once you go live, so you can build up a sort of good relationship with the account manager and the project manager that's going to make some changes to the system. Because you want to be able to talk to the platform provider, you want to be able to review the benefits that have been taken up, the sort of take up rates, and any ideas about new benefits that are coming to the marketplace as well. And of course, you come across benefits as well all the time. I'm sure you're touted for different things. So again, having another ear to sort of discuss things with certainly, I think, gives you a bit more strength, so that you really do know what's currently working with the different benefits and also within the market. So you've got to do this at some point. You've got to find out if platforms are GDPR compliant, all those things. Obviously, that's documentation and audit trails for making choices in the system. So again, you want automatic tracking of any changes and activity on the system, so that if an employee ever queries, yeah, I didn't sign up for that pension change, contribution change, you can see from the administration side that there is a time date stamp on that change actually happening, and you can see what they changed it from and what they changed it to. So I think that's key as well. Going through the costs, just making sure that all the setting up fees are all known up front. We touched on this a couple of slides ago, and what support costs are there if you do need some help or retraining on the system, on the admin side. And hopefully that flows quite naturally. I can hear people say it's certainly saved us many days work on items simple as sort of holiday trading. Lots of organisations that we put online, you know, they were doing it by email and then putting it onto a spreadsheet, the person's choice of how many holidays they wanted to buy, or if they wanted, or if they're allowed to sell. So getting that into one database, which is what the platform's talking about, it certainly saves many hours of work, and also the error rate will be less. It will be zero because it's the employee making the choice. Once you consider all that, you then get into the real sort of having a look and feel of the front end, the employee journey, the back end of the journey. Ask for logins to be able to go in, when you're not in the sales call. Client references. I've got a client at the moment currently, or prospect, going through references this week, so they're speaking to a couple of reference points. Both of those clients came off another platform on our platform, and it's the same provider that they were moving off for this new client. So yeah, be open and honest about that, and you don't need to, we never get involved in those references. You just pass it over to the prospect and our existing client. Sometimes.
I was about to say, sorry, just going back, I know that you talked about analytics, and I think that's a really key thing with getting to know your employees as well. So behaviour and analytics on the platform, for example, could be somebody has reduced their pension contributions for the next month. That could really flag an opportunity to help and support them. They may want to see a pension advisor that's coming in for advice, or they may be going through some issues that you maybe need to help with as well. So people's behaviour and all the analytics that are recorded on the site can really help you to really support your employees with well-being as well.
Absolutely. And also we often get asked to do further presentations to different parts of a prospect's organisation, whether that's payroll. We start off with HR benefits people, and then we move into the payroll team that we walk through what we can do for payroll, because they will have worries about putting in a platform, and also for the management as well. Once for making that, whoever's making that decision may well want to see a demo. So there's often 3 or 4 different demos that are done during the process that I've just talked through, just to get that reassurance. The 4th one would be the security and compliance side, which sometimes people wish to see a deeper dive on that. So, okay, thank you very much for that part. Gina?
Time to see our Ciphr Benefits demo. Neil, please do interrupt. I know you do like interrupting, so if there's anything you want to sort of shout out about while I'm going through it, then go for it.
Thanks.
Oh. Can you, oh, hold on a second, sorry. Right, is that all good? Okay, yep. Brilliant. Right, so this is Ciphr Benefits, everyone. This is a dashboard page, really, to just give a little bit of a showcase about what the front page could look like. We do customize this to you and your demographics, what you want to achieve, your business goals, and we can really reflect that front dashboard page, so somewhere where people want to come to. You could have a carousel here with like a welcome video from the CEO. We could have balloons come across for happy birthday messaging, tiles with sort of messaging through to sort of push any salary sacrifice you want to get more of. We have windows that are open for certain benefits as well. So that's just a little bit of a sort of idea about what you could really customize it to. Most importantly, just nipping onto the benefits page. So the way our benefits page work is we've got a key here, and it's got, open at any time, whether you've got a benefit selected. And we've just put in a range of benefits in 4 different menus. We've got finance, health, lifestyle, and savings. We would obviously work with you to customize exactly what's right for you. And I'm just going to give you an example of the 3-stage simple user process that an employee would go through to make changes and choices on the platform. We have focused on a clean design, intuitive layout, just so we can, really engage people, and it's not a pain for them to use. So I've just gone into pension here first. This is going to give a lot of information about the pension of a particular person and what they're enrolled on. Okay, and this person here is going to make a new selection. And you can add a contribution to their pension. So I'm just going to put in here 10%. And again, it's going to give me a lot of information about my salary, how much it's going to cost me, and the savings through salary sacrifice. We've also got this button here. How does this affect me? This is going to give you here a flex statement of anything else that you have got on the site already selected. So on this particular one at the moment, we've got the salary amounts. This person's got a benefit allowance as well, and they haven't selected any benefits on the site. So once they've looked through this, I'm just going to resume back. They would press next. They would go through an e-agreement here. They can read through the salary sacrifice agreement. They can sign the paperwork to say, I'm happy to do that. And this 3rd stage process is a really important one for the saving time admin process, because this is going to update the payroll. It's going to update to the provider as well, the pension provider, and also it's going to produce a report for the HR department just to see what changes are being made on the system. So if I just run through the other kinds of things we do with the 3-stage process here, we've got, for example, private medical insurance, which is over here. People can go in, they can see all the different options about what levels of cover they have. They can make a new selection. I would say I want to cover myself and my family, please. It's going to tell me how much that will cost. Again, I can pop into here, and I now see that I've signed up for the pension contribution, and it's going to cost me £250 a month. So if I now choose private medical insurance, that's an extra £169 a month. So again, I would just press next. I would then choose my family from here, press next, sign the agreement, and all done. As an employee, that is all done for me. And then HR admin, again, this is going to update the provider, the payroll, and HR admin as well. So really trying to keep it really simple for you. So if I just pop back to benefits now. So we have obviously a lot of different benefits that we host on here, and it's always tailored to you and your choices. Other things that we have on here is all your discounts as well, which I know Neil touched on earlier. So your shopping discounts, we've got really good gym discount site, breakdown covers, things like that. We can also host holiday trading on here, which is a really good saving on national insurance, employers' national insurance contributions, with things like tax advice. We have a cycle to work scheme that we can set up here for you. Season ticket loans. These are just an example of some of the things that we can set up here for you. Just coming back to the top at any time, people can go into a summary. They can see the commitments here. They can see what dates the changes are going to happen and how much it costs them. And then they can also go back and see the flex statement that we viewed earlier with all the current selections on there and whether they're going to save on tax and national insurance, neither or both. Neil, any comments on the benefits before I move on to the next part of the platform?
No, we also have obviously single sign-on into any third-party benefits such as electric cars, things like that, where we can get two-way data flowing back.
Great. And then we've also got a live total reward statement. So this is really great for retention conversations. We have different designs and layouts, but really the data behind it is all the pension salaries. Any bonus information can be fed in here, updated. And as you can see, car allowance, life assurance, all that kind of thing. So an employee can see the whole worth of their package rather than it's just about their base salary. I'll move on now to announcements. So this page is really good for communications. We have a built-in survey tool where you can set these surveys up. They're really simple to do. Our admin login is really intuitive, really easy to use. You can send these surveys off to groups of employees. So when the system is set up, you could say have team 1, 2, 3. They might also be a first aider or in another team, and you can select which groups certain things go out to and which communications can be seen by them on the portal. You can have all these different kind of drop down boxes and yes, no questions and things like that. You could even have a first aider. Maybe we need to make sure that everyone's first aid certificate's up to speed. So you could put an announcement here just tailored towards them with some details of how to log on and book into a course.
And Gina, if I may interrupt, we've had a question coming in around the survey tool. They are completely bespoke. You can create your own question on the survey, and you can make it anonymous or not, as the case may be. So thank you for that question coming in. Hopefully that's answered that.
And this is, you can even use this tool for things like, say somebody signs up for Cycle to Work, for example. You might want to communicate that, tell you what, we've also got a discount code that you can go in and buy some cycling gear at a discounted cost, just to give that extra kind of, information to the employees to help them. What I'm also going to talk about next now is reward and recognition. So this is really interesting. Part of the site that people really love coming onto and using. We have it set up differently for different clients. So some people have some elements and some people just choose maybe a long service award. So it's really different for everybody. What I've done here is I've set up a manager with 1,000 points. So let's just assume £1,000 for now. And people can go in and we completely tailor this to you. So we can put your company values and achievements on here. So I would choose here a person. I'm going to go for Carol today. You can make it a private recognition, or I'm going to say excellent work. Obviously, all of this is customizable. We have these lovely e-cards with different visuals that we can choose. We can say, great work, Carol, put some details about what she's done, and then link it to a company value. So I'm going to just put professionalism there and send that through. And Carol will now get an e-card to say she has got some points to spend. Now you can really have some fun with the rewards on here. So you can either automate it through really quickly with voucher codes like Amazon or Prezi or any of those high street brands, or you can put your own internal rewards on here. You know, you might want lunch with the CEO or some just internal things that you have on there that you can do as well. You can also have available rewards for different groups as well. So when it comes to spending the award, if it is a voucher, for example, someone can come in, redeem their points, and they'll get a voucher code for the vouchers that they choose, and they can go and spend that money, and it's all automated. We also have a mission wall here, and some elements of this obviously can be shown. So you might have on there, you might not, or you might actually simply just want to do peer-to-peer recognition on here and have e-cards, which is the same process but without the points. So it could be well done, congratulations, where peers can say nice things to each other and just really get engaged in the community. I'm just going to ping down now to the award zone. So this is also really, really popular. If you do have an award that you run on a regular basis, we can automate this to keep running every month or year. The window will open, the communications will go out to the specific people you want to vote for that award. And then when that voting is finished, you will get automated report with all the results. Within the award zone as well, there is also a feature that maybe a colleague might want to actually go and ask that another colleague gets some vouchers because they've done something really fantastic. So we can also nominate other people for award as well. And last but not least, on the reward and recognition is our popular long service wall. So we obviously will change denominations, messaging. We can have balloons go across the screen. We can link it to vouchers. Many different ways to run this, but this is becoming extremely popular within our current set of customers.
Thank you, Gina.
One thing I haven't touched on actually, sorry to go back, but we've got a health and wellbeing page. So any campaign that you really want to push within the business, or that is really important to your employees, we can put any campaign pages on here. And this one, we've got a health and wellbeing page, gym discounts, cycle to work, employee assistance program, really all the things that are linked with offering. We've got Plan Your Baby for people with fertility help. I mentioned earlier, we've got Lottie for elderly health care. There's lots and lots of different things. You can really do some really clever and engaging things on the site. So that's a glimpse into the platform to save time, reduce administration, and engage your employees.
Thank you, Gina. I thought I'd start answering some of the questions that have been raised. I've been looking at those as you've been demoing. Thank you. So if I start at the beginning, can we accommodate different groups of employees with varying benefit levels? So if you've got a management layer that have different benefits to staff layer or different grades, and the answer is yes. We can bespoke what the employee sees per employee. So the way we create that is in the database. We create groups, or your grading structure we can mirror into the database. So that's yes. That then flows into, can we produce a total benefits package report? But basically anything that we have in the system, the database, we can run reports on. So we can run a total benefit report on benefits that employees have signed up. We can also track things like the P11D benefits. So there might be a monthly snapshot report that you get that we can create, so that you can create your P11Ds. We don't generate the P11Ds themselves, because we don't always have all the information that the employee may be receiving that is P11Dable. But we produce the raw material for you to be able to complete that task. Other questions? Let's go for the next one. We can interface, getting data in and out of the system. We have a number of ways that can be done. So we can have SFTP, we can have API links, we can have automated messaging going out to a provider to say a report's ready for downloading. So really, we walk through each of the requirements that you have, from HR, payroll, the providers, and then there are obviously security questions that we always ask about where is this data going, and I know you'll be keen on that as well, but we guide you through that. So what we normally find is we become that central database. So for making changes are made on our system. So if there's a pension contribution being changed, Gina demoed, that will be the source data for making that change, and then the report will be generated that gathers together all the changes for that month and the payroll deductions hands-free. And then it's a matter of discussing how that data gets into the provider. You know, that's a separate personal discussion with each client. Keep moving up. Any other questions? Any other questions that I may have missed? Let me just go to the bottom.
Yeah, we've got another question actually. Neil just popped in, so I'll read that out now because you've been doing me out of a job here. So
sorry.
It's all right. Is the system primarily tailored for UK benefits, or can it be used globally? Justin, who's asked us that question, is interested in benefits provision in India and Australia as well.
Sure, yeah. So we have one platform in the world that is agnostic to the UK. Obviously, we did start in the UK, Guildford in Surrey, and then went out. We're live in 20 countries at the moment. Philippines is just coming on stream August this year. So we obviously adjust the platform for each region. We went live last September in Portugal. That's obviously all in Portuguese, including the admin side. So yes, there's a discussion to be had. We haven't gone live in India. I know in Australia we have, but not in India, to be fair. But it doesn't stop us. It is agnostic, so we can go anywhere. It's client driven. That's the key thing. We talk to you. That's what we want to do. Find out where you want to go.
Amazing, thanks, Neil. That sounds like one to pick up after the course. Amanda asked a similar question: do we cover South Africa? And yes, same answer. Yes, we do. So
the way the platform works is the time zone is localized as well, of course. So if you're in, we're also in Hong Kong, Singapore. That's obviously Singapore time. It's not UK time, which I know some platforms do.
Amazing, thank you very much. We have a little bit more time if anyone wants to send in any further questions. Otherwise, I have a question for Neil and Gina. So if a prospect was interested in switching to this platform, like how quickly could they feasibly get it up and running? And I guess you can break that into two scenarios: one where you don't already have a benefits platform, and one where you might be migrating from one provider to this one.
Yeah, our typical build time from when contracts are in is 6 to 8 weeks. So that is fast within the industry. And we can resource. So if we, as we have done in the past, when we get lots and lots of orders in for a certain date, we can switch on extra resource very, very easily, and they come on stream very quickly, which is good. The platform is configurable from our side for you, and it's a fast process. I mean, from a typical kickoff. So last week we did a kickoff meeting on Monday, and the following Monday the client had a branded site. Some images were missing because we hadn't been given them yet, but the colours, the layout, the benefits, and we were then starting to build the individual benefits. So it is very fast. That's a new platform. Coming from an existing one, that often takes longer. Firstly, just unraveling the old platform does take a little bit more time, I'm afraid. So I would say 10 weeks.
That's still pretty quick. Definitely additional considerations in mapping the data fields across and replicating it and that kind of thing.
What can take sometimes quite a while is mapping people like other HR systems, if we were mapping into those.
Sure. And if a company was new to putting together their portfolio of benefits or wanted some extra support in choosing providers like a health provider or a cycle to work provider, are you able to make connections with partners that you've worked with before?
Yes, I mean, we work with hundreds of different financial advisors or employee benefit consultancies. We work with all the big providers and smaller ones as well. We also have a portfolio of benefits that are not sort of financial services regulated, like Cycle to Work, which we can also help with as well. Electric cars, technology, you name it. We've got the full sort of marketplace there covered. And any country as well, by the way, as we've had a couple of questions on overseas, we can support through our partnership network benefits at a local level as well, which I've done many times.
Okay, and one final question from me: is there kind of like a minimum employee organisation size that this kind of makes sense for, or any upper limits at all to consider?
No, no. I mean, when we started sort of 15 years ago, we were very much SME focused. Now we have clients with over 10,000, 20,000, or going up to 20,000 employees, and the smallest client we've got is probably 30 people. So it is scalable. That's the same platform for both of those sort of extremes. It's just minimum costs that we have, and I'm happy to share those if anybody wants an individual quote. But yeah, they're just a minimum pricing for the smaller employee numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, Julian's just asked a question about costs, and I think, Julian, it would be most appropriate for us to contact you after this broadcast and
just glad you do a price. Absolutely.
Yeah, with a minimum price, and then understand what your organisation you're looking at. So leave that with us. We have your name and contact details, so we can be in touch with you after this call. That kind of brings us to the end of today's broadcast. If you want to find out more about Ciphr Benefits or any of the other solutions that we offer here at Ciphr, you can reach us at info@ciphr.com. You can reach us through our website, which is ciphr.com, or you can use the exit survey after this broadcast to opt in to receive additional information. One of our experts will be in touch with you to find out what you're interested in, discuss your requirements, and put you on a call with the right people. Thank you, Neil and Gina. I learned a lot about benefits today, and it's great to see the platform in action as ever. That always really brings it to life, and just you can see how simple it is for employees to select their benefits, and also to admin them as well for the HR or payroll or benefits team. So thanks very much. Thanks everyone for joining us today and being so attentive and for your questions. We hope that you found this useful, and that we will see you again on another Ciphr webinar.
Yeah.
Take care.
Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.